All right, thanks for joining us on another episode here on Guardian Approved. Today, we're going to do a product review of the Keedex Master Pin Removing Tool. I believe that's what you call it. It's basically a follower, but it has this little built-in indentation so that you can remove master pins. And like I said, this one is made by Keedex. It looks like this right here. I'll let you get a close little view of it. And this is what it looks like. And what the point is of this is to help you remove the master pins from the cylinder. Instead of having to go back traditionally with tweezers and go each chamber and pull them out, you can just put this in, quickly get the master pins out, and then move on. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I've been doing this 15 years. I don't use this. Not because I don't think it works, just because I've developed the appropriate muscle memory and I don't really need it. Now, if you're doing a bunch of cylinders, this comes in handy. So I would recommend doing it if you're doing a bunch of master keying. It just makes it easier. Or if you're just not really good with the muscle memory, this will make someone's tech's life much more enjoyable out in the field. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and show you how this works and what's the point of it and how we should use it. Okay, so now when I got it out of the bag here, it comes with a little bit of instructions right here, and here's the actual item, right? The point of this tool is to remove master pins from your cylinder without having to do it the traditional way. Tweezers in the back, removing each one at a time. So let's see what the instructions say. As part of this is we review it just like we're getting out of the bag, and the good thing is I know how to use it, but I've never actually sat down and read the instructions and tried to do it what they say. So it says, I already have some master pins inside of the cylinder as well. So I'll put the key in like this, and there's master pins. It says, follow plug using high rounded side of tool, which would be this side right here. And then the other side is, of course, the cutout side. So you want to use this way in, is what they're trying to say. Now, I'm already noticing a little bit of an issue because of the fact that the back of this plunger has this shape, and they don't have this made to cut out and follow that. So what I probably should do is you're gonna get a gap, but just have to be careful. I know how to do it. So if you have something like this where it has an indentation, usually you have the follower where it pushes right into it and meets flat so that the pins don't get stuck between. I'm just gonna pull it out straight and keep it like that so that the pins are held up in the top. So anyway, I can still do what it said. So push it in, high side of the tool. All right, so there's my cylinder out, just like that, okay? Now it says, once it's completely inside the cylinder, rotate 180 degrees to the low side. So this is the high side, as you see here in the camera. This is the high side, this is the low side. See that? High side and low side, okay? So it says, bring it in, and then rotate, which I just did, and actually all the master pins just came out, so that's mission accomplished. That was easier than I thought. So that all popped out. So all my master pins just came out, and if you look down in here, let you zoom in there, my regular pins are still in place, right? You still see them in there? So literally I just pulled it through. I didn't even have to rotate it, and they already came out. But what it said to do is to rotate it 180 degrees to the low side, which would have been, the low side would have been here. So then that kicks them all out, which is already out. So I put it back to the standard now. All right, it says then move your tool back and forth and rotate left and right until you're satisfied all the master pins are spilled out of the cylinder, which they have. They all just came coming out, over 5 of them, so one in each chamber. So all we're talking about is kind of doing that to make sure they all get out and shimmy them out. So anyway, now based off its instructions, it says rotate the tool back to the high side and follow plug back through. So yeah, for most padlock, shackle, side ball bearing must be removed to allow sufficient movement. Okay, that doesn't matter. So mission accomplished. It's already done what we're supposed to do. Remove the master pins almost immediately. So super easy. I'm going to put them back in to show you the traditional way and show you how much time it saves you. And this is how much time it saves you with someone that has really good muscle memory too. So anyway, now it's back in, the follower's back in like it should be. If I wanted to put another follower in, I could just go ahead and follow it through with a traditional follower and just get it out of the way. And there, now my follower's out, and now I can rekey it like a standard cylinder. So just to demo how it normally would work, I'm gonna put these master pins back in. I'm just gonna put them in random spots. And then I'll show you how long it takes me to take those out. So I'm gonna put 4. I think I have 4 sitting here in front of me, so get these to go back in. There you go. And you can see I'm just putting the master pins back inside the cylinder. And then I'm gonna put it back in and rotate it. Okay? So just like that. There you go. Okay, so key still works, but now it has master pins stuck up in top again like it did before. So you saw that took literally like 3 seconds. Once I put it in there, they all fell out. I couldn't even demo it before you saw it. They fell out so quick. So works great. Now, if I wanted to take out master pins traditionally, this is how I would traditionally do it. I take my standard follower, put it on the back, just like that, push it in, and then I have all my regular pins in there, and then I would come like this. If you can zoom in right here, I'm going to hold my hand steady for you. To remove master pins traditionally, you have to pull the follower back, which I have muscle memory for that, right? And I come in here, and then there you go. See right there, and then I popped it out. My regular pin, I'm holding my regular pin down there as well. So that was one that just popped out. So literally I have to go one at a time. That's the first chamber, and I have to hold down the first as I go to the second. Pop that one out, and go to the third. And get that one out of there as well. And then there's another master pin. Then I gotta go to the back and get the other 2 out, because I get the first 3 from the front. And then I'll make sure you can see clearly. Here it comes again. Right there, pop that thing out. There's not one in that chamber. Go to the 4th chamber and pop that one out. Okay, so as you can see how it works very well. So the way I did that took me about 5 times as long, and I was pretty quick at it. If you don't have all that muscle memory, it's gonna take you a lot longer. So I like to train my guys to make them have to do it this way so that they can develop the appropriate muscle memory. And then eventually when they start getting bigger in projects and stuff and they develop that muscle memory, then you introduce them to a tool like this so they can use it for other things. I like to make sure the guys build up the muscle memory. Same thing when they're doing fresh installs of deadbolts. I don't want them to use the jig. I want them to use a right angle, take the measurements, and do it that way a couple times first. Then they can use the jig. That way you have a good base to work off of. Same thing here. I like to have them come and learn how to use the muscle memory of how to slide this follower back and forth with one hand while also using this, right? All that's muscle memory that needs to be developed. But this is a great tool. If you're master rekeying a huge building, say it's like 200 locks, and you're like, man, I gotta remove master pins from all of them. Well, this, you just put it in there, remove them, rekey it, pop it back in. So, great tool. There's not a whole lot of things that can go wrong with it. It works super fast. It's not gonna break, that's for sure. This is a solid brass follower, so this should last literally a lifetime. It should never go bad. And all of our followers that are pretty solid like this, they last forever. So it's a good investment. I think it was around, there's some that are around, this one I can't remember what the price was on this one, to tell you the truth. I think it was around 20 bucks or so, give or take a couple dollars here or there. So anyway, if you're in the trade and you're using this, then hopefully this helped you out. And then I'm gonna give it a rating too, so like we do everything else. And it worked within 2 seconds, so I guess I have to give it a 5-star review. It did exactly what it said it was going to do, and it did it before I was even able to get through the steps. It already had done it, actually. So 5 padlocks on that. There's not really like a checklist of perks and plus and minus benefits because it's such a simple product. But a great product for locksmiths. Like I said, I'd still have them train with the muscle memory and then bring that tool in later. But yeah, we've invested in a few of these now, and I figured we'd make a video on it. Hopefully you enjoyed. It's not the most sexiest subject, but it is a tool that's very useful in our trade. So thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, we're on all the social media platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We appreciate the support as always.